Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 500 Miles this week. I'm your host and creator, Adam Welcome. In a new location, I just moved back into college for a junior year. Actually, in what I kind of consider an office space. We have our normal co-host Kevin Modesto joining us here. Hope you're doing good, Kevin.
Doing great. I'm in my last week of summer. I go back next Tuesday, I think.
You go back to Keene University next week.
Yeah, next Tuesday's my first day of classes.
And we have another special guest here joining us. We have someone who actually was at the races this weekend at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Let's introduce, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Martin Roberg.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here. I will be on campus next week as well, actually. So
Yes.
getting
So
there.
three college boys on for today. So Martin, I want to ask you about your time in the sport because I know one of the biggest things that has really stuck out is your fandom of a driver from Connecticut. In fact, as I know you're from Connecticut, Ryan Preece. Talk a little bit about being a fan of him.
Yeah, so it really started at the 2016 Spring Sizzler. I remember at Stafford there's always pit parties before the race where you can go and meet the drivers, get autographs. It's a really good thing that they do. Like it's free. It's part of general admission. Anyway, he was doing an interview about his Xfinity race at Talladega because he had just done the Talladega race, was in contention to win late, got shuffled out with like five-ish to go, and then he flew straight to Connecticut to do the Spring Sizzler, and in that moment, like I it was really the first moment that I got to see like local Connecticut roots truly being in NASCAR while still recognizing where he came from. That's always stuck with me. And as I've fallen more and more in love with the sport, especially with short track racing, it just became natural when he moved to Cup that he'd become my favorite driver.
Yeah, Ryan Preece and Joey Logano are the only two Cup Series drivers, I think, from all of New England. I don't think there's anyone in Cup right now from
No, it wasn't
Massachusetts.
top.
Yeah, I know Casgralla is from Massachusetts, but I think it's just Ryan Preece and Joey Logano. And just, it definitely is very special to have those two representing Connecticut for you, Martin. But I know the big thing this weekend was that you were at New Hampshire this very weekend. Like, talk a little bit about that experience. We'll get into a race recap here in a second.
Yeah, that's my first time being at a race with that much rain. It's just such a unique environment when like we knew all of Sunday pre-race that we were probably going to get rain. We got a lot more than we expected, but it like just seeing the rain tires. Unfortunately, that start got aborted where we really would have gone to fully put them to the test. But just see like that was really cool to see that New Hampshire's really been a big part of getting to test the rain tires. We got, I believe, the first Cup laps in the rain were New Hampshire 2024, and then that was the first start. And just seeing all the drivers trying to figure everything out, obviously led to some chaos early with Reddick. Like, just it's truly a unique experience getting to see a rain race. Like it sucks pre-race just sitting in the stands getting stoked, but once they're going, like it's like that was truly something I will never forget. Just getting to see them slide around like that. That was just awesome.
It was just as fun to watch on TV as I can imagine it was in person. So, within that into our Cup Series recap here, I don't know how it felt for you guys, but it felt like a really, really long race watching it on TV. But it was a really, really fun race. I enjoyed it. Like we saw some of the drivers you don't normally see contending for the win and for the win, like Bubba Wallace, Josh Berry, your Ryan Priest, but ultimately Ryan Blaney beat them all on that two-tie strategy and got the victory. Third win of the year for Blaney, kind of a statement win, winning such a good race right into the chase. Let's talk about some of those. I won't say underdogs, but less likely drivers up there. Bubba made a brief mistake down to P2. How to feel seeing both of those short track guys, Priest and Bear, down for the win. Did you think Priest had a shot in the stands?
There was one moment I didn't really let myself think it until he made that move for P2 on Barry. Like I knew Blaney and Barry were probably going to be the cars to beat. So seeing him be able to pass Barry like that was just a wake up call that he really did have something. I honestly think if we didn't get that final caution, because it seemed like I think he had a bad set on the final run or something along the lines of that, but I think he probably would have been able to maybe not win. I still think it would have been Blaney or Barry, but I think he definitely would have been able to hold on to a top five. And I think in the scenario of no caution, Barry was in such a good spot to win. It was it was
He,
really a shame to not like he drove such a good race. Blaney, of course, did as well. But just seeing Barry fight for his career, get a stretch of tracks that he's good at, that the Wood brothers are good at, and just really showing like the reason that he got his opportunities in the first place and the reason that he should still be at this level.
Yeah. So again, though, the big story is Ryan Blaney taking his, I don't remember what number win is for him this year. Third?
yes.
Yep, third. He won Phoenix, and I'm trying to remember the other one.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't call
Atlanta.
him.
It was Atlanta. So he takes his third win. He gets the lobster, a lobster that, by the way, they said that lobster, by the way, is I think as just as old as his father. I think I saw something about that.
Wow.
I could be wrong. I saw someone say something about that, but yeah, nice to see
Yeah, like
Blaney get the lobster a second year in a row. Uh,
yeah,
but
like
again,
moving down the results. Sorry, and like moving down the results, we
but
talked.
yeah,
Yeah, we talked Bubba. Bella P4 always kind of disappointing because this is like Bell's. This is known as Bell's track for a few years. Seeing him in fourth is
still
a
had a good
little,
run.
but
Still had a good run.
when fourth is disappointing, that says a lot. We had Lawson right at the top five. Only Chevy. Next best Chevy was 15th, and he got a top
Yeah,
five.
fit. Yeah, Alex Bowman. But
And
Josh
a couple of games.
Berry, Josh Berry. I just want to add on to that. He is showing that he deserves to be in Cup. Like I know there's the argument that he's only good on short tracks, but like he won on an intermediate, and that win was not a fluke, like some people I've seen on social media say. Like that win was deserved of Josh Berry. I don't know, colleague, I know you still got that 10 open, potentially put him in that car. We'll talk a little bit about rumors regarding that later, but go down the results. Ryan Preece, he did drop off a bit towards the end there, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like I mentioned earlier, I think he had a bad set. Like the last few laps especially, like I'd look away for a second to watch the battle for the lead, and then like Reddick had gotten him from like a second back in a lap. Like he was it seemed I saw on the radio that he said he just had no forward drive. Unfortunately, that's kind of emblematic of RFK's season as a whole. Like we saw all three of them in the top six, and then Priest faded to ninth. I think Keselowski finished in the top. Yeah, Keselowski was
Lashley got
11th,
11.
and
Busher
then
finished 18th last on the lap.
yeah, like they just really faded in the final stage. Like I think that's a big reason why we're seeing Priest and Keselowski in this chase battle. Like they still are showing speed, but they're not showing it in stage three. And then we really haven't seen much from Busher lately. I think he's on like five or six straight races outside the top 10.
And that's
I
good for
think,
Busher. That's out of
yeah.
character.
And while he is going to make the chase, it's not going to do him any favors going forward. But this race did feel like that this race we saw where we expect RFK to run on a normal basis. I
And
do
it's
want to
they
give some I do want to give some flowers though to the guy who finished in 10th, Noah Gragson. I do want to give him his flowers because I know we've been a bit harsh on him before on here, but he finished top 10. That's his first since April at Talladega, which he drove a really good race, and maybe if he keeps it up, like I'll flip my mind and think that he does belong in the four for one more year. But he was driving really good. I saw he posted something about how kids eat free, but I don't see how
Yeah, I
you
saw
could
that
eat a
too.
Miller battery or a Miller Tech battery.
That doesn't sound very good. Something I want to talk about is there's kind of two younger drivers with who have kind of flipped in recent weeks. The storyline all season was Gragson stinks. He's not good, and now he's running good. Opposite for Hocevar. Hocevar got a respectable finish. He finished 19th, but it has been a few weeks for him. He had like back-to-back sub-30th finishes in the last two short tracks, and he spun, was it 3 times today?
Yeah, it was 2 or 3.
Yeah,
He got
I
the
don't know
result,
what
but
was going. I don't know what was
yeah,
going on with that.
he
I
had a day.
mean, like Carson Hocevar, like does Carson not know what year it is? It's 2026, not 2023.
Yeah, this is when in 2024 Hocevar announced, "Hey, I'm going to 77." I expected this stuff then. I don't. Like Hocevar did a championship contender for a couple of weeks there, and I don't
Yeah.
expect this isn't stuff championship contenders do. This is stuff like the Zillage stuff and like a lot of stuff in the past couple of weeks. This is stuff that rookies do.
Yeah, and
And if
like
Hocevar's going to keep doing this, he's not going to have a very long chase run.
yeah, and this just and you know what? I'm gonna steal from Jimmy Spencer here from 2011, but it felt like host. It feels like Hocevar has a bit of a case of Vickernism based on how he was driving out there, and he might need a cure of that because it started to get bad again. I've thought about this years ago too, but like he's not the only driver in racing that has a case or a potential case of Vickernism. We'll talk about that in the ARCA race a little later, but
That's
but
I have
you
one
know,
more kind of storyline from Cup I want to talk about, and then I'm ready to move on if y'all are. Landis and
yeah.
Motorsports had a rough few weeks.
Oh yeah.
31st and 33rd today. Nemecek's really Nemecek's had a really bad. He's had a kind of regressing few weeks. And he's always sold us out the year, and he's just been really bad his past few weeks. And Jones is eliminated from. He was above the tug line 4 or 5 races though. Now he's mathematically out of the chase, which is I'm disappointed. But I was rooting for Jones. Is there anything else y'all want to talk about from the Cup race?
On the topic of Nemechek, yeah, I thought it was a weird choice going in to have him as the one for the 40th anniversary. Like I know the Petty 43 obviously is one of our most recognizable numbers in sports, but you have to just look at what Nemechek's done lately. As you mentioned, he's been on that very rough run of performances. He even in the truck race, like he wrecks
It's a bit of a
in
mess.
Yeah. We'll get
early.
into that in a second,
Yeah,
but yeah, it
and
was bad.
like like that is definitely a team that needs a reset, and I think Nemechek is someone that I think he definitely also falls into Vickerism, but he's not consistent enough with the results to get away with it like Kosovar is, and you've got to wonder with JGR having solid drivers in the O'Reilly series. We already know where Brett Cruz is going, but what if Taylor Gray is going to Cup? Is he taking Nemechek's spot? So that's something that like this weekend it really set in that he's racing for his future, and right now he's not doing it well.
It seems to
There
confirm
is,
he'll be back next year, but if he's not much better next year, then maybe you get a Taylor Gray, maybe if the 11 doesn't open up, you get a Brent Cruz, maybe like if Zane Smith or Todd Dillon want a new ride, I'd put them both in a top car over Nemechek, and kind of I'll use Nemechek to lead into the truck race. A lot of wrecks, a lot of crazy things happen. Kind of saved Tyler Ankram's season.
hold on, we forgot one more thing from the cup race. We have a I don't care what NASCAR says, we have a regular season champion in Denny Hamlin. We almost forgot to mention that. So
That was a bad thing. You told me that.
Denny Hamlin finally won a championship or a semi-championship.
The year they stopped counting it.
Good one, Kevin.
Anyways, back to the truck race. It was kind of a lot of wrecks. It was double overtime, which we haven't seen a ton of this year. And how about Lane Riggs? His 6th win of the year. He clinched the 1 seat early. He's been so dominant this year. Ankrum, Darcia, Friesen all kind of had bad days. Like, they all kind of made mistakes. Bad things happened. But Ankrum survived. He is a chase driver for the third consecutive season.
Yep, he was able to survive. I know Luina, they did I know on the fact of Luina, just because me and Martin are in Connecticut right now, Luina, they sponsored the truck race past 2 years at Lime Rock. So that's good for them. Plus, Luina, they're based in the Northeast. But I want to give some other notes throughout the field. Like, of course, you had Tristan McGee finishing in sixth. I still maintain that kid's going to win a truck race before the end of the year, but might be a hot take, but we'll see. Ram actually got a top 10. I hate that we have to celebrate
Much
that,
needed.
but they did it.
Much needed top 10. Eatman got a nice top 10 too.
Yeah, that Parker Eatman guy. He's had a lot of good speed, as we've said before. He's actually supposed to be in that truck through Charlotte.
Yeah, he hasn't always had the results, but he has the speed, and that's what you need to show when your first starts. I think I know we've talked on the show in the past about him maybe being full time next year. I would like to see that. I hope that materializes. Well, into the field, I'm looking if there's any other
I think
interesting
the big
storylines.
I think the biggest thing with Eatman is like I don't know how much of the broadcast caught this, but at the start of the race especially, he was consistently losing like 4 or 5 spots every restart, and then on the final restart, he I don't know how many he gained, but he just showed so much growth throughout the day. He got a lot more comfortable getting put in bad spots. He was able to make moves that prevented him from being put in bad spots. So that top 10, it was a quiet one, but it's a really impressive one, and I'm excited to see what else he can do.
Yeah, speaking of bad
Yeah,
spots, Zero made a bold move to going for the win.
Coach. Thanks, Coach. If you guys have seen Door Bumper Clear, you'll know what I'm talking about.
I
Zero
think
made a Sayuda.
I think with Ruggiero, like we've seen him talk a lot about how he knows that he can win and like that he needs to stop making these mistakes, but it hasn't really stopped. And like he's definitely got speed, but you've got to wonder what his long-term prospects are with the Toyota developmental program when you've got a lot of talent at Nitro right now, and you've got Ruggiero, who he has his one truck win came at Talladega, and
I mean,
like
he's top
he
five in points, but he hasn't really been. He
yeah.
hasn't been really winning. He's made a lot of those kind of really bold moves.
Yeah, like he's
You
got the
know,
consistency, but he does need to start winning more races, and I think once he starts winning more races, that will help him a lot, especially with like fan perception. Like it's rare to hear a New England driver not get any cheers at a New England track, but he did not get any, and stuff like him dumping Spurlock earlier this year in ARCA to win. Like he has not done much favors to himself, and honestly, I don't think he did much to help that yesterday.
and I kind of want to stay on the topic of some people who did not get cheers this weekend. Not in New Hampshire, but at Springfield. Let's Springfield, Illinois this
Oh, I
weekend.
have a lot of thoughts on this. So,
Take the lead, man.
Springfield, uh, I'm trying to do this the best way possible without angering myself too much, but
We also we
and
we both we both have jobs to keep running for this about this industry.
yeah, we do. But that Max Reeves kid, Max Reeves, you got to stop racing people like the way you are. It is completely outrageous how you are racing people right now. Stop dumping people just because they pass you cleanly. I'm making that plea to you, Max. Stop it. Stop it. I've had enough. This is the end. Stop dumping people like that.
Yes, he is doing himself. He's doing himself no favors. Rich kids in Arta have a reputation and aren't always beloved going in, but he is doing nothing to make himself likable, make himself. I can't imagine anyone in the industry has much respect for him, seeing what he's did to Bochelle, what he's done in the past. Is he doesn't have the talent. He's in the fastest car. He hasn't shown the racecraft or the talent to be able to make actual passes, so he has to resort to doing stuff like he just did. And I don't. If this continues, I don't think he has, even with the money he brings, I don't think he has much of a future in NASCAR. And if he's gonna be good, I want to see talented drivers. I think he has some talent. He has to clean, he has to clean the nonsense up. And if he doesn't, he's going nowhere.
And on the other side of that, you've really got to feel for Gavin Bushell.
He
He
had a
was
rough
so
weekend.
good in the truck race. Had that crash late. I'm glad he was okay. That was a really hard hit, and then
And after that, he should have won the auto race, but he didn't.
yeah, he's. I think Bushell, like, I didn't see too much hype going in for him when it was
I
announced that he was getting those starts at Richmond and Loudon.
I didn't know who he was. I barely knew who he was.
Yeah, he's
And
really burst onto the scene.
I know him now. I know who he is now.
He's a good kid. He's got a lot of talent. And I really wish the best going forward. But there was some other stuff that, and by the way, Bichelle tried to go after Reeves on
Yeah, I saw
after
that.
the race. Just for a fact check here, he was not kicked out of the track off the property like some had reported. He was just simply escorted off a pit road or off the front stretch. But there were still some good results. I know there was a controversial call involving Taylor Reimer, who I feel like the best solution. I feel like honestly that one might have just been on her spotter, but I can see what she's saying at the same time.
I think it's a issue that we're going to keep seeing because not like we've seen this in ARCA before, like just off the top of my head, Priest lost the 2019 K&N West race to something very similar, and then like low visibility in restart zones. And I think it's also worth noting to choose cone, even though in this instance that was not the problem. Like low visibility for drivers and punishing them for something that they can't see is it's really unfortunate to see, and like it would have been really cool to see what Reimer could have done. I think she's got a lot of talent. That win is coming, and it would have been really special for it to have come yesterday.
Yeah, she might be on our picks radar still for DuQuoin in 2 weeks. But Isaac Kitzmiller had a hell of a run. He's doing so much better than last year. I got to give kudos to him. Uh, Also, I want to mention the I want to mention the did you guys see the gender reveal car
Yeah, I
with
did.
Sean Core?
I did not.
That car or reveal was awesome to see. Like I know in the broadcast they mentioned that Roxanne Roy, which is Sean's wife, was actually supposed to run the car in both races, but because of pregnancy, Sean ended up getting back in. That is one of
Pick
the
six.
most awesome ways to do a gender reveal. And kudos to Sean because I'm from New York. He's from New York. And I want to give hats off to some other guys like Kelly Kovsky, who finished seventh. This is actually his final start on the Illinois at Illinois in Springfield. His final race in ARCA competition is going to be at DuQuoin in 2 weeks. And Tim Monroe in the fast track car. I know that's his own car. He had a great run on the dirt. By the way, there was also some other disappointing things. Like I was really upset to see Trent Masters crash out. He's a great guy.
That was
And same
disappointing.
with
Always
yeah.
disappointing to see those smaller teams
Yeah, because he's a
let down.
Trenton's a good guy. I was upset for Brayton as well. We had him on the show for a pit stop weeks ago. I hated to see the issues continue there, but hope it gets better for DuQuoin. Uh, I do want to also ask you, Martin, about the about something else we saw at New Hampshire. This will be very brief, but what did you think of the wheel and modifieds running?
That's always a really enjoyable event. Usually, like until last year, I only ever got to see them at Stafford. Seeing them like a wheel and modified drafting is the strangest thing initially, but it's such a cool strategy race. And it was a very important race for the season with Emmerling having his early issues. He nearly flipped. I can't believe Flo didn't ever show that they really dropped the ball there. But that's besides the point. Like that was there were some very good stories that day. I had to leave the track early when the rain started falling around lap 70. And at that point, I really thought Chase Dowling had it won, and that would have been such a good story. Like I believe Dowling's only got one win in the series. He's been he's been really fast. He's been really close to getting some wins. So it's like that would have been a really special win for him. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the end, so I can't really talk about that, but it was a really good race. Parise and Christopher Jr. I thought had two of the fastest cars in the field. Christopher Jr. especially, and shout out to him for the truck run. He was going to get a top 10 if not for those late cautions. Ended up 12th, but still a very good run for him.
Yeah, and before we go to intermission, I think Martin, you said that you're going to be leaving before we come back from the halfway break. But I do have one question though before the intermission that we do need to ask
Yeah,
regarding the Cup race. Is it should NASCAR, when it comes to the wet weather tires, like allow the teams to make changes, or do we just control it?
I think it absolutely should be up to the teams. I think anywhere that you can give drivers the control to make the decisions and show which drivers truly can set themselves apart and knowing the track conditions enough to know when the crossover point is, that's a massive part of what weather racing. F1, for instance, has shown that time and time again that the best drivers know when to switch over. So it's really something that I think we should be doing in NASCAR. And like I do understand that it does present the opportunity for a car on slicks to crash because they didn't put on wets, and that could change the race. That's the unfortunate thing, and I think it's the primary reason why we haven't gone to it. But I think we also have 40 of the best stock car drivers in the world. They should be trusted to make that decision and be
I
able
agree
to handle
wholeheartedly.
that.
Yeah, I agree. Kevin, I know you were nodding your head about that.
Yeah, Martin couldn't have put it any better than I couldn't put it better if I wanted to. These are some of the most talented brains in the world with NASCAR, so I think if they should be able to decide whether or not they want to run on slits or not. Some of the most talented motorsports brains in the world.
Yeah, that's definitely something that really is of note. I know from I know it's just something that, again, I think should be looked at. I don't think we have many more races where they're gonna have the rain tires. I think the only one I really can think of is like Martinsville. Phoenix.
Yeah,
Phoenix
Phoenix.
as well. Like that's all I really can think of. I mean, I don't think they're doing it at Gateway. I don't think they're doing any tracks larger than a mile. But uh but yeah,
Talladega
it's
Wood Weather
definitely
Race. Let's go.
say that again.
Talladega Wood Weather Race. Let's go.
Oh, don't even give them ideas. Or don't give Marcus Smith ideas. Because I know he suggested doing
Yeah, it was,
a wet track race with no rain at North Wilkesboro or something like that, which that sounds like a really
that's,
bad
that's
idea.
an idea. That's one of the ideas I've ever heard.
Yeah,
All
doing
right.
it inorganically, I think having experienced the actual wet weather atmosphere, like you need the atmosphere just as much as you need the track to be wet. Like if it's disingenuous, it's going to show, and it's not going to be a good look for the sport.
All right. So
Yeah,
that's
down to
gonna
Seattle. We down to Seattle. We gotta take our
yeah.
halftime ish intermission. Just me and you for this half, Adam.
Yeah. Are you staying on Martin or is it
Unfortunately, I do have to go. It was a pleasure
Ah,
being on here, though.
well, thank you for
but
joining us, and we
thank
will
you for
let
joining
that
us,
talk to
Martin. So Martin, we'll see you again soon, hopefully. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back shortly here in about 5 seconds. All right, we're back after a 5 second intermission. You guys are probably too used to by this point. So we're gonna get into previewing these this weekend's races at Daytona coming up, which those are going to be a lot of fun. We have a brand new aero package, and which hopefully will make the racing better, but also for some reason no practice. And you know what? I know I don't want to say anything about it, but teams, I think you guys are a bunch of idiots for not letting us practice.
Yeah, if nothing else, just let the option be. Then if you don't want to
Like,
practice, that's kind of my philosophy.
like it's clear, it's so obvious, like that NASCAR wants to let these guys practice. Like, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, but I do know qualifying is going to be interesting. There's 41 entries for 40 spots. I'm actually working on a piece about this for my outlet at TYL. It's dates in the 44, Muse in the 62, Greg Alding for the first time in a few years in the 66.
Oh yeah,
I'm
that's an
I'm in the
interesting one.
67, and everyone's favorite Daniel Dine 78.
Yeah, the for qualifying in, as long as no one withdraws, the it is the it is based on the it is based on the uh slowest open car. So even if the 67 is the highest open car in owner points right now, the Heim still needs to be the fastest regardless out of all the open
So he
cars.
needs to be not the slowest.
Yeah, he has to be. Yeah, excuse me. He needs to be not the slowest. It's down to him,
Which
Gase, Mears, Dye, and who's the other one?
Alding.
Yeah, Greg Alding. I did
What?
not expect to see him on the
Neither did
entry
I.
list.
Neither did I. I thought it was gonna like Fincham or someone or Timmy Hill.
Yeah, but he made a comeback as well this year in the
He ran
O'Reilly
over
at
Riley for Bristol for Harmon's team.
yeah,
That's
and
28th, which is pretty good for the Harmon team these days.
yeah, and but yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting seeing how they race. I am also glad that NASCAR did lay down the hammer and say we need to make some package changes,
Yeah, I love that.
especially from Steve O'Donnell. There's some interesting sponsors though as well throughout the field. Like Ross Chastain's got the Wendy's watermelon lemonade colors. That's going to be
Yeah,
interesting to see that scheme. Uh, there's also I'm just looking at the entry list right now. I'm curious if maybe there could be another special Jordan scheme because it is Jordan brand,
that'd
or if
be
that's
cool to
just going to be
see.
the normal car. Uh, and Oikos is coming back with Priest, by the way, and then Fly Alliance will be on the 71 this week. So a lot of interesting sponsors in throughout the field. And why don't we also talk about the O'Reilly entry list here?
I feel
Because
like O'Reilly there will be
this is like
one
the first
driver
time in a
from.
while. This is like the first time in a while that we have that we're going to be sending people home as of now.
Let me call up the entry list.
So on that entry list, we have Caesar Baccar. We have a Caesar Baccarella in the
Yeah,
four. This is the
always
first.
good to see him. He's good. He's really good at these super speedways. I'm excited to
Yeah,
see him again.
yeah. This is the first race for him since Daytona in February. Also,
Yeah, let I
yeah,
mention earlier,
we meant
everyone's favorite Daniel Dye will be running double duty again in the 32.
Yep in the 32.
And Ryan Seed in the
Interest
38 this week.
Yep, Andy Jane Kowiak is in the 39, so he's locked into the race. I think that's just for getting into the race insurance
Probably.
wise, because I mean, I imagine they're putting up a lot of money for this, and this could be like one of his few shots he could get in a top series race. So he's definitely going to be
And like,
going all in on that. And I'm
let's
so
see.
happy that Andy J is getting to run
Yeah,
this
me too.
race.
I'm so excited to watch him Friday night.
Yeah,
Besides him,
the 42 car is
42
currently to be
maybe
announced.
determined.
Yeah, we'll see who ends up being in that car. Cram is in the 47 again. Carson Ware is moving over from the 47 to the 53 for Gase.
We have
Joey
Honeyman
himself.
back. Yep.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. Honeyman is in the 71. Joey Gase
Who's
himself is in the
always he
55.
Honeyman always shows up at these. He's always in the midst in these super speedways. So I'm very happy to see him in a car. I'm not sure if he's my win pick, but he's very impressive on the drafting tracks.
Yeah. Mason Maggio in the 91. Josh Williams is back in the 92.
It was always good to see him.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see him back. First race since I think Sonoma. But I don't know exactly what to really expect from here. By the way, there's some really amazing schemes that they're doing for the
I
O'Reilly
expect
race
everything.
with
I
WWE. If you saw those,
I did not see those.
yeah. So they are
Always cool
doing
to see a
a
big brand involved in NASCAR like that.
yeah. So they are doing these WWE NXT, which is like the feeder series to WWE.
Yes.
They're doing schemes for Sawalich and Mayer this
That's
week,
fun to
which
see.
that's really cool to see. I'm excited to see those on the track. Uh, but again, we'll see if anyone withdraws or if any other changes to the entry list get made. Because I remember last year there was when we were at the risk of a DNQ, someone did withdraw last year, which made it just 38 cars. So we'll see what happens. And by
And
the
this is the
way,
regular. Sorry, what did you say?
yeah, this is the regular season finale for both Cup and O'Reilly.
And O'Reilly has 6 guys for 4 spots. Cup has 5 guys for 3 spots. Also, with
Yep.
O'Reilly has. Let me pull up the standings right now. Redslav has, I think, a 40-ish point lead. I'll get the exact number in a set for you. Redslav, how about Redslav made in the chase? That every week, this is another, okay, this is going to be the one that he misses it, and he's going to be back to the mean, and he's not going to make it, and that week just never came, and he's 46 to the good. That's not clinched, but he's likely gonna be a chase driver. Mayo plus 19, similar deal. That's not, he hasn't finished a lot of these super speedways, so he could miss, but I think plus 19 is gonna be pretty safe. And look at that battle of the dibs towers. So Walsh plus 1, Cruz plus 1, Gray minus 1. None of them strike me as great as the greatest plate racers. I don't know if you've seen stuff I haven't, but I don't think of any of them as elite plate racers. And we have Caruth minus 15 in a JRM car. So we got who's out?
So this is going to be very interesting because if I could pull up the standings right now for the O'Reilly guys, I'd say Retzlaff is going to get in. This is a complete toss-up for O'Reilly. Like
Those bottom four of the top.
Brett Cruz has I don't think he's ever raced at Daytona.
He finished on over Talladega, but never seen Daytona before. He
He's
has
never
auto
raced
lap
at
there.
Daytona. Sawalich, uh, Mayer, you know, I don't know. I don't know who to pick who gets in. I could see Raja maybe sneaking in though. I could see
Yeah,
it.
I'm taking
But
Raja. Give me Raja.
and
Give me Raja. Give me Raja passing Sawalich, definitely. And between Gray and Foos, give me Sawalich and Gray missing. But it's
I'm
such a
gonna
toss.
go I'm gonna go Sawalich and Cruz missing. I think Mayer's gonna have enough points to squeak through. Uh it's just that again, it's gonna depend on who can survive the big one. Uh I think but like I'm still trying to figure out who to make picks for this week. But we also have another ARCA race this week, Madison, which is before DuQuoin.
That's
I
a good
know
one.
there was a little bit of confusion over that, but Madison in Wisconsin, there's no entry list yet, but there are some drivers that have been announced, like Reeves, also Tristan McGee, and coming back, and Carson Brown.
I'll
Uh,
pick McPeter in that one.
you think Tristan McGee's going to win that one?
Yes.
Yeah, they're also they're on the pit box, they also have Isaac Kitzmiller running again, which is nice. Ty Fredrickson, Taylor Mayhew, Will Robinson, Austin Vaughn, and Tony Cosentino, some of the other notables. I'm gonna predict Reeves again, just because nobody really had anything for him in last year's race.
Yeah,
Like
solid prediction.
yeah, nobody really had anything for him in last year's race, and Bushell is not going to be out there to have anything for him, like regardless if it's going for the lead or not. But who
I'm sure they'll
knows?
be together again at some
Yeah,
point.
Bushell is going to be running a DuQuoin. So I also want to pull up, but yeah, I'm going to go Reeves for that. So Daytona, I don't know who to pick uh, for the O'Reilly race to win. Do I want to go with an RCR car? Do I want to go with maybe a JRM car?
I'm not.
Having a bit of trouble.
I'm not going either. I'll say that.
Ooh, who are you going to go with?
I'm going Red Laugh.
Ooh,
He's been
you know
so good
what?
with late tracks over the years.
I could see
I
it.
think he's done.
Kind of looking back though to Daytona though from the February, if we go based on that, I'm gonna go Jesse Love. I don't think it'll be Austin Hill, but I think it will still be an RCR car in Jesse Love.
And yeah, looking at the top race, top has 5 guys going for 3 spots. Let me pull up the standings once again.
Yeah, so that's why
We have
that
Bubba Wallace plus 75. He's not clinched, but he'll be in. Sinvid plus 44, SUD plus 31. Both are relatively safe. It would take a really bad day from one of them and a really good day from Priest to make it. Priest is minus 31, and Dislowski is in it, but he would need to have a near perfect race and have help from SUG and Sindrit. So I kind of think the field is set for the chase, but anyone can win.
yeah, anyone can. There
We
are
want
some other, but yeah, I think there is definitely a case that anyone can win this race, but or get in. I feel like though it's going to be down to SVG and Priest in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
but in my opinion, 31 points is too much for Priest to make up.
yeah, I am going to make a win prediction here though. I'm going to go Bubba Wallace.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I'm going to predict Bubba winning.
I'm gonna go completely out of left field. I really, really
Okay.
want to pick Cody Ware, but I'm not going to. I'm not picking him. I really, really
Oh,
want to, but I'm not going to.
okay.
He
So what
was
are you
he was
picking
up
then?
front. He was up front in both Daytona races last year. Could have won both. We haven't had a lot of good winners this season, so I think we're gonna get one here. Cole Custer will win Daytona.
You know what? I could see it. I mean, I saw a trend on social media that every even year someone surprising wins the
Yes, that
Daytona.
helps me. I'm riding Custer to the end.
Yeah, there I saw a trend on that on social media the other day that there's like a that apparently even year Daytona has a surprise winner. So let me recap that part because, or let me try to think of how that actually could work because we had Burton in 24, uh, who was 22? It was Austin Dillon.
22 was Austin Dillon. 2020 was Byron's first win.
Yeah, that was his first win, so that's still, I guess, considered a surprise win. Eric
2018 was
Jones,
Jones' first win.
yeah, so that's considered a surprise.
And it
So
was
that trend's
Blaney
been going on.
Blaney the last. Oh, wait, 2019 was Justin Haley, which is a
That's
bit
an
of a
odd
surprise.
year.
Yeah,
That's an
so
odd
that
year, though.
kind of breaks the
This
trend, but that's
trend,
about it.
this trend has only been going for about 4 years, for about four straight times, but maybe, and you know what? Could we really consider, and you know what? Maybe we could consider Bubba to be a surprise winner for Daytona because he hasn't won in a while. He hasn't won since Indianapolis last year,
It
so
was
it
over
would
a
break
year
a
ago.
big winless streak for him. And
So yeah, I
and it
think
would
yeah, I don't think I'll be able to watch the Cup race unfortunately because I'll be at a concert.
who are you going to see?
Will Wood.
Right, right. I remember you told me.
Yeah,
But
I remember we talked about that.
yeah, so there's some, before we wrap up the show, we have some other topics to discuss, mostly related to the schedules, because there are some really great announcements that I was so excited to hear about.
Yeah, a couple
The
of great truck announcements. Bowman Gray
truck
and Canadian
series.
Tire will be on the schedule next year. I'm
Yeah,
excited for both races.
I am so excited. That the Canadian Tire announcement, that was a complete shock
Yeah, I
because
did not see that coming.
I I'm just gonna say it right now. I heard nothing about that
Neither did
until
I.
it pretty much got announced. I legitimately heard nothing about
I didn't
that.
even know. I didn't even know it was possible.
But hey, we got it back. I
Yeah,
knew
I'm
they had
excited.
been working. I knew that the track got new owners and they had been wanting to get NASCAR back, but I didn't think it was going to happen that soon.
Neither did I.
Yeah, Bowman Gray, that's going to be
Interesting.
fun.
This is gonna be interesting.
Uh, 36, they will not have all 36 trucks for the race. NASCAR has confirmed that. But
You know, it'd be a great idea.
what?
Let's let Max Rusin drive in that race.
You think that he's going to make it through that?
I mean, no.
Well, I you know who I do think you know who you know what you got I got a better idea for that race. Let's put Burt Myers in the best in a Spire truck or even a Tricon
Yeah,
truck.
I like that a little better.
Yeah, Burt Myers running a truck race. He could actually win with all his success he's had at Bowman Gray. I think he just won another track
It'd,
champion there.
it'd be cool. It'd be so cool to see him win there.
Yeah, yeah. Burt and maybe even his son or brother. Like his son Slate is his brother, Jason's his brother is Bert's brother. Like all three of them would be awesome. Or
That'd be so fun to see.
yeah, you also got Tim Brown who ran the Clash in 25.
Mhm.
There's also the Fleming family, like a big group of racers from North Carolina that race at Bowman Gray. Chris Fleming, Luke Fleming, Frank Fleming, like all those guys. Like Frank is 67 years old now. Like who wouldn't want to don't get me started. Who wouldn't want to see that guy who wouldn't want to see that guy run a truck race? I mean, there's also Brandon Ward from the area too.
Yeah,
He also
there's so
runs
many
there a
potential
lot.
tool entries. I'm looking forward to that. I'm
I think
serious.
Danny Bone runs a lot at Bowman
Did he
Gray. I
want?
could
He
be
wanted to
wrong.
run one of the Clash. I forget what year it was, but he wanted to run the Clash one year, but didn't.
Yeah, he tried to run it in 25,
I
and
think it was 20. Oh,
Chris Fleming tried to run it in 25 as well. Couldn't get the funding. But yeah, that race will be definitely one for the history
yeah. There's
books.
anything else schedule related you want to talk about?
There's a few other things that have been announced schedule
I have.
wise. Uh, Kansas has announced their dates. The trucks are going there twice. I will admit, I don't think I agree with that one.
Yeah, that's a little weird, in my opinion.
I feel like that I could understand them doing Atlanta twice to a degree, but I don't agree with them doing Kansas twice.
Me neither.
O'Reilly also has moved their race back to the fall there.
Yeah, I'm excited for Kansas Chase race
Which
next year.
yeah, Pocono also has announced their dates. The Truck Series is returning to Pocono. I'm happy about
And
that. It
me
felt
too.
very
It's just
odd. Not
so many
it felt
fans, camp the whole weekend. So always nice to see them in another race.
it felt very odd having, but apparently though, ARCA is not going back to Pocono next year, as confirmed by Front Stretch's Mark Crystal. There's been some speculation as to what could replace that. I've heard some talk maybe Dover comes back to ARCA, maybe
I
Charlotte
could see that.
returns. You know, it would be something. But yeah, that's what the deal with Pocono. Chicagoland is also staying.
And there'll be no street race this year.
Yep, no street race this year. That has been held off until 2028. From what it sounded like, NASCAR just was like, okay, we need to get the schedule out. Let's just pause the brakes and
Yeah, it
negotiate
didn't.
later.
Nothing materialized in time.
Yeah, and Also, because Canadian Tire is going to be the regular season finale, and Bob Pockris also mentioned New Hampshire is apparently going to open the truck chase. Nothing's
That's
been
gonna be crazy.
confirmed. Nothing's
If
been
that happens, it'll be
confirmed.
crazy.
Nothing has been confirmed, but based on that and with the dates that have been announced, I would not be surprised if Watkins Glen is removed from the truck series.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about Watkins Glen there at all. I wasn't crazy about the Watkins Glen truck race. I'm not terribly sad to see that though.
If it does, but again,
If
that's
it
just
goes.
based on what Bob said.
Yeah.
Uh, there is also the what was I going to say? And if we're going based off of that, I would imagine that Lime Rock is probably coming back because that's a road course be going off the schedule.
Yeah, I
And
hope it comes back
also
somewhere.
and also it would probably mean that Charlotte is keeping its second truck race.
That I don't know about.
Yeah, yeah, that one I'm also going to disagree with. I really think that trucks should not have any tracks with two races.
Yeah, that I agree with. Except I didn't even think of an except, except maybe a Bristol or Martinsville. But other than that, I don't think we need two races anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. Uh, there is also been some talk that maybe Track Enterprises might buy Rockingham, which that probably would put that track back on the schedule for 28. Uh, we
Not
also have some other silly season rumors coming
Austin Hill
out.
got announced to the 33.
Oh yeah, Austin Hill has been
Today.
announced to be staying in the 33. There
I
have been
don't.
some rumors.
I
There
see
have
why
been
they
some,
did it, but I don't love that move.
yeah. Again, that's just gonna screw over Josh Berry because I know there have been some
It's,
rumors that he might actually end up in the seat after all.
he hasn't been great this year, but you can't expect him to be great given the circumstances in which he's in the ride. So
Yeah,
I
but
wonder what he can do in one full year.
yeah, which again, I would still expect Chandler Smith to take over his ride for 2027. Uh, also, we missed this. Like we put this episode out. We put the last episode out, and then it got announced that Zilish was going to the 48 next year. Not next year, 2028.
Yeah, I'm surprised they locked it down so early. I knew Zilch would. I didn't know, but I heavily suspected Zilch would be the driver. But I didn't think they'd announced it until like March at the earliest.
Should we
But
have
they announced
concerns
it.
about Trackhouse's future now?
Yes, all three drivers on aspiring deals next year, and like I've heard stuff that at least one of them could be on the way out, to potentially be
Ross,
on the way out.
yeah, Ross and SVG, their contracts expire the end of
Yeah,
next year as well. So they're gonna have to. So Trackhouse, like I feel like if SVG keeps calling the cars bad, I don't
he's
know,
out.
but
Who knows?
I mean, I have some concern about the future of Trackhouse, but especially because if they lose all three drivers in 1 year, then
That's
that's
apocalyptic.
trouble. Uh, and then it's also I've also heard that Austin Cindric it hasn't been an I know Jordan Bianchi said this recently, but apparently Austin Cindric has signed a contract to remain with Penske. Not clear though how long it is,
Yeah,
which
I'm happy to see
I
that he's
mean,
likely to be in the chase.
yeah, and honestly, I don't think you really have a reason to replace him. He's still doing pretty decent in that car.
Yeah, I think to keep him.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a need to replace Cindric. Uh, One that I am very in disagreement with is apparently Ty Dillon is now expected to remain in the 10 car next
Yeah,
year.
I think you can do better, but you can do worse. I'm Ty Dillon staying in the 10 is like one of the moves of all time. Like I wouldn't. You can do better, but like I kind of feel like
Yeah,
Ty Dillon's the best bet because like he's so safe. He doesn't wreck a lot, and like you don't put
yeah,
Josh Berry in the car because it kind of like either if it's the first year of Dodge or another lame duck deal with Chevy, they kind of need a safer pair of hands in that car. And Ty Dillon's not the most flashy option, but I think he's kind of what they need right now. Like he's faster, but he wrecks so much. I don't think he's a
Yeah,
good fit.
it's
Right?
just that it's also confusing. But again, Ty Dillon did also drive a Toyota in O'Reilly a few years ago and in Cup
Yeah,
in 2021 with Gaunt Brothers. And remember, he was the first ever 2311 driver.
I miss the Don brothers.
I do miss them as well. But yeah, Ty Dillon. But yeah, it sounds like he could stay in that 10 car even if it's a Dodge. But yeah, we have some other things I have on my radar. Regan Smith is going to run the 25 truck at Bristol and Charlotte. That's going to
That's
be
cool
a
to see.
great,
I'm excited to
yeah,
see that.
that's going to be very exciting to see him run there. I know also there was also something else that throughout the week that really caught my eye on social media. Uh, I don't know if I really want to discuss it that much, but Kevin, are you aware of this guy that's been crashing out over Zilish getting the 48?
I have a running position at above the yellow line. I would like to keep that position. Therefore, I'll be saying nothing.
Yeah, there was yeah, to say the least, there was clearly something happening on social media
Yeah, it was something.
over over why am I don't know
Zilch.
why I'm even I don't know
Yo,
over Zilish and Day. I don't know why I'm even laughing at that.
let's talk about something else.
I have one more topic though, unless you have something else to
I have
bring
nothing
up
else.
that's on my mind. There was a report that said that Auto Club was that all the land had been sold off, but that report turned out to be false.
Yeah, I hope the short cut happens. I don't personally. I don't think it does, but I'm really hoping to see that short cut happen.
In my opinion, I think NASCAR is going to hold on to the land until they think that there is any sort of value to build that track.
Yeah,
Because maybe NASCAR thinks that, because maybe in NASCAR's eyes, they think that eventually the land will be, will, I don't want to say lose its value, but become more, but not have as many like interest in that land.
yeah.
Like there may not be as much interest in that land. I mean, we could be in a completely different economy in a few years from now, but I I mean, I don't think it's going to get built anytime soon, but based on the
It
fact
would.
that it turned out to be false that NASCAR sold off the land, I think that NASCAR has an intent. It's just that I don't see it anytime soon.
Yeah, me neither. And that's
All
all for
right.
me. If you have nothing else, well,
I don't
thank
think
you
I have any
both. Oh, sorry.
I don't think I have anything else, but
Yeah, thank you everyone for listening, watching this week's episode of 500 Miles. We're on a couple of different. This is the first live episode on Facebook and Amazon, I believe. So if you're joining us there, welcome to the show. Thank you for all we've been new listeners. Adam, thank you as always for having me on the show. Martin, I know you're not
yep,
here anymore, but thank you for joining us.
yeah, I mean this ended up being a pretty good episode. We'll be back recording next Sunday for the reviewing unless that race gets rained out, the Cup race at and O'Reilly race at Daytona with two new guests and also and probably and that episode will probably drop next Monday. We also will probably have another pit stop or two this week, so be sure to tune into those. But for now, we'll see you guys later.